And we're live. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining. Hello, Moses, Sharon, 3D Puck, Kevin, Mac, Bob, Bill, Fractured Leather, Led Zepp, Oak Meadows, 3D Puck, Carl, Jack. Jack, I knew you would be here. Rusty Girls. If I started this channel with nobody here, I knew Jack would be here. Let me check the volume. Okay, so we have audio. I figured out a way to check that as I go. Just want to make sure that everything's going okay. Rusty Girls, good to see you all here today. So it is, we're in the middle of a heat wave here in New Orleans. I'm about 13 miles south, so it's hotter here than New Orleans. And right now it is 97 degrees with a real feel of 117. So I decided to get out of the weather and come inside, dry off a little bit, and why not just do a pop-up? I have nothing else to do this afternoon, and there's no better way that I'd want to spend this than with you guys. So I'm glad that you're all here, and what we're going to be talking about today is AI. So I know you guys have been seeing a lot of videos on AI, and the question is, does it really work? Totally awesome. Love your channel. Thank you so much. And uh, the answer to that is yes and no. So depending on how you use it and depending on what AI program you're using will determine your results. So today I'm going to be talking about Chat GPT. So if you're doing graphics, you want to do a personalized plaque for somebody or a Christmas decoration or whatever the case may be, and you go to AI, probably the best ones that I found. I've tested a lot of them. Cash from Norway, welcome. I've tested a lot of them, and I found that the best one is going to be ChatGPT 5. And not so much ChatGPT 5, but its little sister, Sora. So a lot of people don't know that in ChatGPT, there are other GPTs that do specific functions. And I'm going to show you the difference between the two today. And there's a great difference. So you've got one ChatGPT that does basic line drawings. And when you're trying to get an image for laser engraving, you're pretty much going to want to do a line drawing, right? I mean, that's what I would want to do. I wouldn't want to do an image. I'll show you the difference between the two. But the difference between ChatGPT and Sora is that Sora is designed for images. So, like I said, it's on the left sidebar. You'll see other GPTs, and I am using the paid version, so I get better results, faster results, and hopefully you guys are going to stick with me today. So this is going to be probably a pretty long live stream because you're going to have to actually see the amount of time that you've got to wait for ChatGPT to respond, and sometimes it's as much as a minute or maybe even longer. But I'm going to show you the difference between ChatGPT and Sora. There is a huge difference. One of them does ChatGPT does. I have a hard time saying that. ChatGPT does line drawings like with a pencil, and Sora does the same line drawings or something similar with shading. Like, so if you're doing it with the pencil and then using the side of the pencil, like most of us do on our tablets and things, to shade in areas. And there is the key difference. And then we're going to find out if you can use Chat GPT to ask for your settings on your laser. Now, I'll give you a heads up. Hey, Rob, I'll give you a heads up that you cannot use it. You cannot say, give me the settings for the LaserMATIC 30. And the reason for that is because it goes out and searches the web for those settings. And the it finds what other people are suggesting. And I can tell you from experience, most of the suggestions that you're going to see online for engraving are going to be way off. So a lot of people, they get a result and then they go onto Facebook and they say, "Oh yeah, I do that at 6,000 millimeters per minute and 40% power." So it's getting bad information. So AI, um, I guess the term for it is called hallucination. It hallucinates. And it's not really hallucinating, but it's just gathering a bunch of bad information. And I'll show you that as well. So I hope you guys have time this afternoon to hang around. But so far, I found that Sora and Midjourney are really the only two that are going to give you quality line drawings. And that's what we're looking for as a line drawing today. So let me quickly show you the difference between ChatGPT and Sora. I'm going to switch over to Lightburn. And let's see. So let's get rid of that. And hopefully that, well, that didn't go away. So, all right, we're going to come over to Lightburn. In my art library, I've got two. I'm going to bring out the first one, and I'm going to tell you the prompt. I'm going to show you the prompt in just a little bit. This is ChatGPT 5, a line drawing that I asked for, and I'm gonna demonstrate that in a moment. And this is Sora. So when we put these two side by side, you can clearly see the difference between them. And like I said a few minutes ago, on the left is the basic line drawing, and on the right is Sora that does the fill, so the shading, in other words. And these are traced from the images. So we're going to go through that entire process. And actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move some windows around, and let me see if I can. That chat box doesn't go away, does it, on the screen? No, it doesn't. All right. So let me, I'll make sure I work in this area so that you guys can see it. And oops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. So let me come over and bear with me because I've got to do this from a few different windows. So let me bring over this. So this is ChatGPT. Come on, get bigger. All right. And now I've prepared the same text prompt that I used earlier. So I'm going to copy that from my text file, come in here, and I'm going to paste it in here. So I'll hit paste. So create a highly, and this is the most important part. Excuse me. This is the most important part of doing this, and is the prompt. So I put in here, create a highly detailed line drawing of a North Pole village town square. In the town square should be Santa's wife, holding a tray of cookies, and many elves. The theme should be upbeat and happy. The town square should be lined with small shops and vendors. And now I'm going to hit submit, and let's see what happens. So here you get to see the actual, you actually get to see the wait time. So there we go. It's generating the SVG. And I think if I switch over to a different scene here, yep, we can get rid of that chat box for a minute. So there, so far it's thought for 25 seconds, and now it's going to create the graphic. Analyzing means that it's creating the graphic. Hey, Edward, thanks for being here. So we're going to wait, and we're going to wait, and we're going to wait. And this is the thing about live. I can't put a cut in here and just cut out the wait time. But it's not going to take too long. Probably about a minute was the last time. It took about a minute the last time. Analyzing. And, sometimes with these AIs, it takes a while for it to analyze it. And remember that, what you're getting here, if you're going to do something commercially, always at the end of your prompts, when you finally get what you're looking for, always ask ChatGPT for the copyright for that particular image. And it will print it on the screen. And if you have a company name, it'll also print it with the chat screen. You have no problem with dead air. I'm not sure. What does that mean, Bob? Problem with dead air? Okay, so, oh, you mean just sitting here waiting? All right. I don't know why this is taking so long the last time. It only took a short period of time the last time. Okay, here you go. Detailed, upbeat, North Pole. All right, so I'm going to click download SVG. Oh, I have to be on the screen. Download the SVG. And there it is. And I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to move this screen back to my other monitor so that I can just drag this one into Lightburn. And let me get rid of these two for right now. So we'll get rid of those two. And then I'll come back over and find my download and drag it into Lightburn. Okay, so that doesn't look very good, does it? So here you can see sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And that is just absolutely terrible. So we're going to select the whole thing and delete it. All right. Now we're going to come back and use a different program. So this is going to be ChatGPT's little sister, and this is Sora. And I'm going to paste that exact same prompt into Sora and hit enter. And let's see what happens with Sora. So down the bottom are your controls. 3 to 2 means that it's in landscape. You can also get square, or you can get vertical, like a vertical video. And over here are the different variations. You can get anywhere from 1 to 4. And then you can have presets as well. We're going to leave this alone. And you can see up here that it is only about 10% done at the moment. And I'm guessing that it's just very, very busy today. And hopefully this is going to give me a great image, because those two images I showed you earlier were from ChatGPT, or one of them was, and it came out halfway decent. So I guess it depends on the time and the amount of users that are doing this at the same time. So we're going to have to wait on this one. And while it's waiting, I guess we can come back over here so I can see what's going on in the comments. Watch, okay. Did not know that about copyright. Yeah, Dawn. So I always ask for, I tell ChatGPT to give me the copyright so that I can use this image to sell commercial products. And it will actually, it'll ask you, do you want me to fill out your company name and everything else? And you can put that information in. And you can actually print a PDF if you're going to be doing like thousands of them. All right, let's see. I'm using Gemini. I tried Gemini. I didn't quite like it as much as Sora. Okay, so there we go. Festive North Pole Square is ready. So, and I missed that. Okay, Festive North, there we go. So look at that. So I've got two versions here. let me get off the chat screen for a moment. There is 2 versions of it. I think I like the one on the left better than the one on the right. Yeah, so I'm going to click on the one on the left, and I'm going to copy that, and then we're going to come back to Lightburn, and we'll paste it in here. So did a great job, 15 inches. Okay, so let's lower this down to, let's lower it down to 5, because we're actually going to run this on the laser. All right, so there it is right there. And this is an image now. So if we look at our cuts and layers over here, you'll see it's an image. If we preview this, it's going to take 18 minutes and 12 seconds. Okay? However, the really nice thing about getting these line drawings is that you can trace them. So let's right click and trace it. And I'm not going to change anything in here. I'm just going to do a standard trace. I'm going to delete the image after the trace. Say, okay, there it is right there. Now it looks different, but when we preview this, oh, hang on. Let me select it. When we preview this, you can see this is really how I'm going to want this to burn. And it's going to come out looking just the same as the other one in 9 minutes. So half the time. So that's what I really like about using the AI to generate different parts of images. I mainly use it to generate parts so that I can build images myself. But we're going to take this one now. Let me put the chat back on the screen so that we can see what's going on here. Not much. Hi, Tony. I asked Realistic to get better art. So you can redo your prompt afterwards and tell them that you want a better drawing or you want a more modern drawing, something that would fit into the 21st century. You can keep changing your prompt and keep changing the graphic until you get exactly what you want. So, for instance, I can tell them that, I don't want the North Pole light, street light in the picture, and it'll take that out. And I want there to be less little guys running around there, and it'll fix that as well. So, all right, so let's back in Lightburn. Let's see how this actually works. So the next thing I think I want to do is show you that, let's see, we're going to come back into ChatGPT. I'm going to make this bigger, and I'm going to go back to my text file, and I'm going to ask it to give me the settings for my laser. So let's see what happens. Let's put this in here. Excuse me. And it should think about this a lot faster. But what it's doing right now is it's going out and searching the web for people that have posted settings. And then it's going to give us the answer. So now I specifically told it I want the settings for using the 30-watt LaserMATIC diode laser and 3mm plywood. And here we go, 36 seconds. So here's a solid, no-nonsense starting point for vector fill on 3mm plywood with a 30-watt diode. And here are the settings. And you can see right here, the LaserMATIC is not going to run any graphic at 6,000 millimeters per second and 20 to 25%. That's just ridiculous. So, we can run this graphic at 28,000 millimeters per minute, right? So why would we want to run it at 6,000? Okay. So, and then it gives you some things to check that are pretty helpful down here on the bottom. And fast tune-up. it says run these squares, So, I mean, it gives you a lot of good information, but it doesn't give you the right settings here. So, very dark fill, 2,500 millimeters per minute, 60 to 70% power. Do you know what that would do to a piece of plywood? I mean, it's crazy. I mean, some of the other settings are okay, but we're not gonna we're not gonna do that today. So let's get this set up, and I'll show you the settings I'm gonna use. So I'm just gonna draw out a square, and I'm gonna put that on a tool path. I'm gonna dock it in the top right corner, and I'm gonna change the size to 12 because, oops, I need to dock it again. I'm going to change the size to 12 because I want to be able to I have one 12-inch by 12-inch piece of plywood on the laser, and I want to be able to maximize the use. All right, so I'm going to take this and put it up here because of the overscanning. So actually, let me see. I'll just dock it to the top left corner and then move it down just 2 millimeters, move it out just a little bit, and start and do my settings now. So let me see. Let's just go to the material library, plywood, 30 watt, and assign it. And there we go. So these I know are the right settings because I've done a bunch of material tests. So here you can see 22,500 millimeters per minute is from my material testing on plywood and 90% power. And I have a 5% overscan and a line interval of 0.102, which actually it's 250 is the number that I use. Sometimes Lightburn makes some goofy little changes. So 250, 1.016, number of passes 1. I'm going to leave my air assist on, and that's all perfect, just the way it is. So they, ChatGPT was telling us what, 4,000, 6,000. That's just crazy. So we're going to just say okay to that. And I'm going to do a preview on this because I need to show the traversal moves. And as you can see, those moves are outside that green box. So it's not in the right place. So what I have to do is click on it, move it over just a little bit so that we don't hit the hard stop in the corner and ruin the job. And now you can see it's inside that green line. So I can probably even move it back a little bit like that and try it one more time. There we go. So now you see everything is within that green boundary, and we're ready to run this job. So let's give this a shot and see how it goes. All right, so I have to come back over here to see the comments. Better late than never, Richard says. Yeah. Okay, so I've been using Google Whisk for image generation. I haven't tried that one yet. Rob says, thank you for demystifying Lightburn for me. I come from a CAD background. This is similar, so I had a leg up. Good. I'm glad it helped. All right, so right now I'm going to turn on, let's switch over to the LaserMATIC. I'm going to turn it on, get my air extraction going. And you'll notice that it will not home. So I've had this problem with version 2. If I go to Lightburn, let's go back to Lightburn, and you can't see it because of the comments, so I got to do that. And now you should be able to see it. If I come to the laser tab, you'll see it says busy. It does this every time. So if I stop that and then right click on the devices, now the laser is homing, as you can see. I don't know why. Something in version 2 that I just don't understand what it is. So anyway, now I'm set up. I'm ready to go, ready to run the job. I've got my fume extraction is on. The laser is on and ready. And let's run this AI job and see how it comes out. And we'll have plenty of time to chat in the meanwhile. So there we go. Now we're definitely not going to use Chat GPT settings. I mean, those were absolutely ridiculous. You know what I didn't do? I just realized I didn't put a cut layer on here. So I'm going to go back to Lightburn real quick while that's running. And I'm just going to put a cut layer on this, because I do want to cut this out. So I'm just going to grab a rectangle, look for the bullseye, and drag over the entire graphic to the other bullseye, put that on the red layer, and that's good. And then I'm going to come to my cuts and layers, turn off the output on the black, and I'll be ready to just run this quickly, run this cut quickly after it's done. All right, back to the LaserMATIC. So I don't know how well you guys can see that, but that sure is looking like a pretty darn good engraving to me. Morning, Wayne. Morning from Oz. So this is the thing on a live stream. You know, we're going to use up some time. I hope you guys have time this Saturday afternoon. Oh, look, the temperature outside dropped to 96. Isn't that wonderful? We're in the middle of a heat wave here, and we're supposed to be in the upper 90s to low 100s for the next 4 or 5 days. But yeah, that looks like it's coming out really, really nice. Led Zepp says, I don't get the issues with version 2, and I have the same machine as you. So yeah, I've played with this quite a bit. I'm running version 2.0.02. Installing Lightburn from scratch, that's not something I ever do. I reinstall directly over the one that I've got because it wipes out everything from the previous version. So even if you downgrade, and by the way, this is not just on this computer. So the computer in the other shop is fine, doesn't do any of that. The computer in the laser lab only sometimes does it, not all the time. How would I get a reverse image for an inlay? A reverse image, you can use the mirror function in Lightburn if that's what you really mean. So let's take a look real quick. So if I were to select the image over here and use the mirror function right up here at the top, it would mirror it. I don't know if that's what you're looking for. There's two ways to do. I'm not sure. You might be thinking about over here on the. Okay, so this is not an image, but if this were an image, and I were to open it, you could change the engraving. Let's see, art library, photos. Just bring in any photo. Now I have an image. You could come in here and do negative image right here. So I don't know which one you're talking about. I think you're talking about negative image. That's how you would turn it on. All right, back to the laser. And it really looks like this is coming out really well. Or at least I think it is anyway. Dawn says she was having a few issues with version 2, went back to 1.7. I did a video on the most common issues with version 2 and how to fix those, but that didn't You know, a lot of people don't want to do that. So Jack is saying do an offset. If I do an offset on this, there are too many lines that it'll have to interpret, and it will lock up Lightburn. I'll do the offset now and show you. So I know you can't see the message that's going on right now in Lightburn, but uh, it it will it will lock up the program. That was the first thing I did was do the offset. So and actually, so now it is locked up. I have to wait. Okay, thank you, Jack, because now I just locked up my Lightburn. Okay, it's almost finished. It's going to take forever because it has to interpret all of those lines before it can actually do that offset. And let's see. So there you go. See, there's the offset. It took that long from when I did it to the time that it did this, and it didn't do a very good job. Hey, Jim, better late than never. All right, Tony says, that's it. Thanks. Okay, good. I'm glad I was able to answer that. Can't you keep version 1.7 and I guess you mean 2.0 on your computer? I can, but I'm using a Mac. Not sure if that matters. Um, well, I do. I have three different versions on my computer. I just installed them into different directories. Let me see. I don't know if I can show you that. I might be able to. There. Oh, no, you can't see it because comments are in the way. There it is, right down in the bottom side right here. So I have three different versions in here. All you have to do is install them into a different directory. If you install one of the RCs, it'll automatically install into a different directory. Sunday morning here in Oz and currently 1 degree Celsius. Well, it is 96 degrees here right now, Fahrenheit. Steve says he uses Gemini as an example to the AI to create a black and white line drawing. Right, exactly. So you have to get really detailed in the prompt. All right, so there's the end of the job. And what I'm going to do is just click start one more time. And let it come back and finish that up because I forgot to add that cut path. Stupid question. There are no stupid questions. Why trace the image and not grade? I showed you that. So because tracing the image gives you the exact same result as a line drawing, but it does it in half the time. Good evening from the Netherlands. Good evening. If it wasn't so hot here, it would be a great evening. Right. Steve says it completes much faster as a line drawing than as a raster. That's exactly right. All right. So let's go and see what we get. I'm going to go get this off the laser. And let's come back over here. And I want you to see this engraving. So this is a vector engraving that is rastered by the drawing itself. So let's take a look at it. And I hope that camera will focus. That is a pretty darn nice engraving right there. And the camera doesn't really do this justice. So this is a beautiful, beautiful engraving for vector art. So there's one. I want to do another one because I have nothing else to do today. And maybe you guys want to see it too. So I'm going to go back to, let me go back, turn off the comments for a minute. And I'm going to go back to Sora. There we go. And let's see. I think I have to change cameras. There we go. All right. So I'm back in Sora now. I'm going to get another prompt. And this time, I'm going to get a local prompt, something that I would want in my area. So I'm going to click on Edit Prompt, and I'm going to paste in here and send it, and then I'll tell you what it was. So I put in here, create a highly detailed line drawing. Oh, okay. So it's still showing me the old one. What I pasted in there was create a highly detailed line drawing of a man fishing in the Louisiana swamp on his bass boat, setting the hook on a fish that just took the bait. And let's see what happens. So now that's going to think, and think. We're only about 10% in right now. And I've noticed that this also depends on the time of day. So if you're doing this at 8 o'clock in the morning, it'll take maybe a minute. And if you're doing it at 8 o'clock in the evening, it could take up to 5 minutes. So right now we're about 25% of the way through, as you can see right here. And I hope that changed my prompt. I think it did, because I know I pasted it in there. So we're going to do the same exact thing that we did with the Christmas version. Let me bring these comments back up. Carl says, Rich, isn't it a John boat? Well, no, bass boats. I don't think I've ever been fishing in a John boat. The John boats are more for a utility boat. But I have spent most of the last 35 years here in Louisiana on a bass boat, except for 2 years ago. Okay, so that finished. And, oh, look at that. Okay, let me get off the comments for a moment. Look at that. That is pretty good. That's pretty good line art, if you ask me. And I think I like the one with the trolling motor. Yeah, I think I like this one better. So I'm going to copy this. So I'll right click on it and copy it. You can download it as well. So I'm going to get rid of that. Let's come in here and paste it. There we go. So that looks pretty darn good. And now I'm going to trace it. So we'll trace it. I'm not going to change anything here because I think that all looks good. So I'm just going to say OK. And there it is. And we'll put it onto the black layer and turn the black layer on again. There we go. Yeah, that looks really, really good. So I know some people say, "Wow, that looks terrible," but after you've done some laser engraving for a while, you'll know what you're expected to see. So let's go ahead and uh, grab this red layer and pull it off. And actually, let's not do that because I can't put the image onto a toolpath. So I have to delete this image, and I'll just put the red layer. I'll duplicate it and bring that off. Put this one onto a toolpath. The reason I do that, so I know where I can use the wood. All right, so that was 4x3. Let's make this one, let's make it 5 inches and grab it and bring it up here. Zoom in a little bit, move it up a little bit, and I'll just grab this. I'll grab this cut layer, drag this down here, and I guess I'll just adjust it by hand. Bring it down to about there. I really don't even need to be making these adjustments because that's close enough, but this mouse that I have in this office is really hard to move around. It's a pain in the butt. And I'll bring that down like that. Maybe just go a little bit smaller. There we go. So now we've got those two on that same sheet of plywood, which is the reason for my toolpath. And I'm going to select both of them. I'm going to preview this. 9 minutes. Okay, so that's pretty good. And I don't have to worry about the traversal moves, but there is what we're going to get right there. And I think that looks good. So let's go to the laser and let's hit start. Now, what Lightburn has just done is they have, the software has just rasterized this so that we can get the shading. Steve says, create a round black and white line drawing useful as a coloring book page. Yeah. So prompting, if you look at Steve's prompt there, prompting is the most important thing when you're using ChatGPT. You want to tell it all of the aspects that you want in that picture. So as you can see here, he wants it black and white. He wants a line drawing. He wants it to look like a coloring book. And he wants the head of a black Labrador dog and two doves. Make the picture with a fancy frame. So the way that he's specifying that, it's going to get a really good result. Good job on the prompt there, Steve. Sharon saying, why do I use the top left when the laser homes to the front left? Okay, the reason for that is because the exhaust is in the back. So I prefer to use the top left, the top right, whatever it is, because it's closer to the exhaust. So you'll get more suction from the exhaust. I can use my air assist on engravings, which is important to me. A lot of people say turn it off. I don't, because I don't want to get any dust or debris on my lens. And to give you an example of that, my LaserMATIC 10, which I've had for 3 years, has got over 1,000 hours on it with the original lens that came with it. So it works. You know, you want to keep dust and debris down to a minimum, and closer you get to the exhaust, the stronger the fume extraction is and the less debris you get. Dawn says I'm going to have to try this. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It really is. Thank you, Vicky. Vicky says excellent information as always. Okay, Dawn. Have a good walk. Thank you all so much for being here today. I really appreciate it. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. We have over 100 people watching right now, 103 people. That's an incredible audience for a pop-up Saturday. Thank you all for being here. Had to mute there for a second. I had to sneeze. I don't want to do that in the microphone. So while this is running, if you guys have any questions, uh, let me know while we have time here. Scott says he's waiting on his LaserMATIC. Congratulations, you bought the best laser engraver in the industry, in my opinion. I've had the LaserMATIC since the very first prototype, which I still have. And I can tell you that I personally haven't had a single issue. I have 4 of them. Haven't had a single issue with any of them. So I have the first prototype 10 watt. I have the first prototype 20 watt. I also have the Mark II production model, and I have the XW, and they're all absolutely wonderful. Carl says he got the side panels for his for his Mark I, okay, and XW. I think you mean the side exhaust panels, or maybe you bought the open frame version originally. I mean, yeah, the open XY. For a short period of time, LaserMATIC Rolly did sell the LaserMATIC without the enclosure. Totally Awesome says definitely use Air Assist for engrave. Yeah, replace glass lens twice on an Atom Stack A70 when not using it. And that's absolutely the truth. If you don't use the Air Assist, you're going to ruin the lens cover. There's no question about it. Andy is asking, has Leo announced when he'll be updating the Galvmatic? No, he hasn't. So we had a live stream scheduled on all of the new updates, and I'm guessing that some of them needed some tweaking, so he postponed it. And as soon as he lets me know, I'll let y'all know. Led Zepp says, I always pick up 1 or 2 new things when watching. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm glad you pick up some new things. We all learn together, and that's the purpose of me making these videos. Denver Crafting, Diane says, we don't have anything else to do except learn how to use a laser. And Moses says he has 2 LaserMATIC. Yeah, Greg's got a couple of them. A lot of people have more than one. So that's the cool thing. Hey, Pierre. Pierre's from New Hampshire. I wish I was in New Hampshire right now. We're at still at 96 degrees here. I know you guys in August you're getting into fall weather already up there. Can that be cut as alien drawing? I don't know what that means, Tony. Andy says, can't wait for his Galvmatic. Sharon says that she also got the side vent for the Mark II XW. Where would you suggest to place the wood on venting from the side? As close to the side vent as possible. So as you can see, above the wood that I've got on the laser right now, there's a little piece of wood that I've glued down to the top of the honeycomb. Excuse me. So the honeycomb is exact 0, in the front left, but it's a little bit longer in the back. So what I did was I just placed a piece of wood on there, and I cut out a square, docked it up in the top of the workbed in Lightburn and ran that job and cut out that rectangle. And then I took that cutout piece and glued it down. So now I know that if I dock my wood up against that, it's exactly in the top left. Tony says a line drawing. Oh, let me go back to the comment because I forgot that. Can that be done, cut as a line? Well, yeah. So the difference between regular Chat GPT was a line drawing, and this one was a line drawing that Lightburn actually rastered because it had the different shades in it. So uh, rather than do the image, it's better to let Lightburn do the vector and raster it. Vicky says, can't wait to try this. 3 months building a new craft workroom. Just completed the setup yesterday. Congratulations. It's so keen to get the laser back into action. Yeah, I would be going crazy if it were me. All right, finally, we've got that cutout. Tony says it's 89 degrees where he is. Yeah. And we're going to get a look and see how this came out. I'm guessing that this is going to come out really great because the preview looked really great. And from what I can see from here, it looks pretty good. Can't wait to take a look at it. All right, I will be right back. I'm going to go grab it. And this time, I'm going to dust. I didn't dust off the last one with my paintbrush, but I'm going to do that this time because, sorry, I was probably too far away from the microphone. But this time, I'm going to dust this off with my. I want to get it away from the keyboard. Always take a soft bristle paintbrush and dust it off. First, go with the grain, then go against the grain, because you don't want to have any dust and debris in there, especially if I'm going to show this to you on camera. I didn't do this on the last one, and I should have. And you should have no reason to use anything other than a paintbrush if you've got your settings right. Okay. Oh, wow. I think you guys are going to like this one. Let's go into the full screen here. Hopefully this camera is going to focus on this because that came out absolutely superb. And what you can't see in this image here uh, live because of the camera is that it's got uh, like a reflective. I don't know if I can't. I don't think I can catch this on the camera, but it's sort of reflect as you turn it. Yeah, the camera doesn't pick it up. As you turn it, it's got dimension to it. I think it really, really came out great. What do you guys think? Okay, let me know. What do you think? How do you like that? Let me get the other one too, real quick. And let me just dust it off. So I don't know what to call it. It's like a sort of like a halo that when you move the image around, it like shines. So there's the first AI image of the North Pole. And here is the second one. And that is exactly what I asked for in my prompt. Now, keep in mind that Chat GPT is not going to give me exact. You guys saw it firsthand. It's not going to give me exactly what I asked for in my prompt, and sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. It just depends on how many people are using it, I think, at the time. But these are some, excuse me, some incredible images. I mean, and I just love the way they shine. It's got like a shimmer to it, where as you move it, it shimmers. And I know you guys can't see it, but what a great engraving. So, getting back to Chat GPT, you don't want to ask Chat GPT for things that it's going to search the web and get bad information. Like you saw with when I asked it for the settings for the LaserMATIC, because it's just going to go and find what people have posted on the internet. And that's usually going to be wrong. Excuse me. I have this stuff here. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this. Mio Lemonade. And it's really cool. A little squirt in your water bottle, and then just a little shake, and it turns my water into lemonade. So now I have some lemonade. Man, it's so good too. It's probably really bad for you, but all right. So um, let's see. Do you guys want to do something specific? Let's see. How long have we been going? It feels like just a couple of minutes. Oh wow, we've been going almost an hour. Okay. Denver Crafting. Diane says Mio is the best. Yeah, I've got like 7 different bottles of it, and I think I have every flavor that they make. The black cherry is also another one of my favorites. So you guys want to see something specific? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll take the first good prompt that we put. In fact, you know what? I'm going to back up over here. We already got a good prompt. So let me go and find it, and let's do it. Hang on. Let's see. Have there been that many? Okay, here it is. And let me see if I copy. Yeah, I can. Okay, so Steve. Steve gave us a really good prompt. So let's go and do Steve's prompt. All right, here we go. So let me get off of this screen for a moment. And we're going to edit the prompt. I can create a new one, but we'll just paste it in here. Excuse me. So we're going to create a round black and white line drawing, as I explained before. And I'm going to hit go or enter and let that work. And then I'll come back to that as soon as it finishes. I don't know how long that's going to take. It still hasn't even started. There we go, 10%. All right, so it's at 10% now. So we're going to use his prompt. And Steve McConnell, I think it was. Let me see. I copied it from over here. Yeah, Steve McConnell. So we're going to use Steve's prompt. That's one. That is a pretty big bass. Yeah. So it gave us a wide mouth bass, and that looks like about a 6 or 7 pounder there. It's sort of like the size of bass that I catch when I go fishing. I can tell you that here you get some big ones. There was a bass tournament in Lake Catawatchee, I think in 1998, where someone landed a 12-pound bass. But typically, I get like between 1 and 2 pound bass. And those are the best for eating, by the way. All right, how is that doing? It's 50%, a little more than 50% finished. And like I said, I've found that it depends on the time of day. If I were to do this at, say, 7 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock in the morning on a weekday, it'd do it like in 20 seconds. It'd be finished. Cutting Edge Laser says, love me some bass. Bass, trout, and redfish are my 3 favorite. Actually, I should do it in order. Redfish, uh, bass, trout. Okay, so here we go. Let's switch back over. Here's what we got. Round, black and white drawing, useful as a coloring book page. That this all looks right, of a black Labrador dog. All right, so all of this looks good. And it has 2 different types of fancy frames. I don't know which one we would use. Probably this one looks better. So let's go ahead and copy it. Let's just do it. And let's bring it into Lightburn and paste it. And now we can trace it. Should be a perfect trace because it's a really good line drawing. What is that on? That's on the toolpath. So let's put it on the black layer and shrink it down to size. Let's make this about 4 inches, almost like a coaster, but not quite. We'll put it right here because we know that that's where the last graphic was. And we'll just go ahead and delete this one. And let's do an offset on this one of 0. So we'll do an offset of 0, out of shapes only, select resulting objects, outward, and say, okay. All right, there we go. We'll put that on the red, and it got just a little. So these are the outer shape. That didn't work. So we're going to undo that. And we'll just do something simple. We'll just draw a boundary around it. None of this is, for anything other than demonstration purposes. So let's preview this because still have to worry about this boundary over here, and that's fine, just where it is. All right, so there is the request from Steve McConnell, and let's click on laser, and I wonder if I want to change these settings at all. I don't think so. I think that looks pretty good. If I were to change it, I would lower the settings maybe a little bit, but not going to. I'm just going to click start. And always forget to select. And there we go. And I forgot that I had flipped this board over. So it's doing it in the wrong spot, but that's okay. I don't know why I flipped it over. And that looks like a really, really smart engraving there. Hey, Herb. Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit better every day, Herb. It's been a long recovery with these back surgeries. I went about a week and a half ago, and got some morphine and steroids injected. And that sort of took care of most of the rest of the pain that's left while I'm in PT and recovery. Thanks for mentioning that. Led Zepp says, AI has enabled me to get ideas from my head and out into the world so quick and easy. Yeah. No excuses now for sitting and looking at a blank screen, wondering where to start. So if you are sitting looking at the blank screen and wondering where to start, this is what I would suggest. And this is what I do when I'm hitting a brick wall looking for an idea. And I just go on to Amazon and I type in the search handmade laser engraved. And I hit search, and you get hundreds of ideas. So then you can look and find one of those ideas, and boom, you have an epiphany. You run over to Chat GPT and you explain that epiphany to Chat GPT, and you've got a project that I don't know about you guys, but it makes me really happy when I'm able to do a project and uh, get it done, start to finish, and have it come out exactly the way I want. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't change those settings. That looks now I'm looking at it on the screen just like you guys are, because the laser is behind me. So, but that looks like a really, really good engraving. But there is caveat to this. So you have to know your settings. You remember what we did earlier on ChatGPT when we asked it for settings. It went and it looked up everybody's settings that doesn't know how to use a laser. So Tony's saying, "How's tree?" I don't know what that means, Tony. Rob saying, "I hear you. I just had my second spinal fusion in 14 months. I'm sorry to hear that, but it gives me time and a reason to run my laser." Yeah, I had two between December and let's see, what was it, March? I had two, and my entire lumbar section is now fused. Ed is saying, "Can you get the same results on a 10-watt laser?" Absolutely. You can get better results on a 10-watt laser because you have a finer spot size. So you're going to drop down from, zero point 0.1 to zero point zero 0.08, something like that. Raging Designs, howdy. Glad you joined us. Uh, but yeah, you're gonna get better results with the 10-watt. You just have to know your settings. Tony says spiral. Oh, the Christmas tree spiral. Oh, I haven't worked on that yet. I haven't worked on that one yet. So I came up with this idea. Oh, and you shouldn't bring that up in public, Tony. So that's a members only thing that's going on. I'm not even going to talk about it, but yeah, you just gave it away. Shucks. You'll see that in the members only live stream. So I do these live streams as well for my patrons and for my members only. This is just a pop up because I had nothing to do today. So I figured I'd do this on the channel because my channel's been so slow as far as getting new subscribers and likes and comments and things. I've been like shadow banned by YouTube for some reason, and I'm getting like 2 subscribers a day where I used to get 30 or 40. So I figured I'd pop up and get out into the algorithm, and it'll send out notifications, stuff like that. Try and beat this algorithm a little bit. Rob says, "Where are you originally from? New York, New Jersey?" I love the accent. I was born in Brooklyn, raised in Queens, and then as a teenager moved out to Long Island, and spent most of my youth there until I went into the Navy. After that, I went to New Jersey for a short period on the Jersey Shore. I guess that was about 2 years or so. And then my wife and I visited New Orleans 35 years ago, or longer probably at this point, and she loved it here. So we wound up uh, coming here and been here for at least 35, 36, 37 years, something like that. But I certainly don't have the New York accent. So if you were to listen to some of my relatives, you'd plainly and clearly hear the difference. Tony said, clear acrylic and lit. Yeah. Thank you for the like, Led Zepp. All right, I'm going to go get this one off the laser, and let's see how Steve's idea came out. I'm going to turn off my machine and my fume extraction now because it is just too loud for me. I know you guys probably can't hear it that much in the video, so my mic is way over here. So I'm going to do a little brushing on this. Again, I'm going first with the grain, and then second I'm going to go across the grain, being careful not to touch the engraving. Hold it by the edges, right? Everybody says, oh, you can't get a clean engraving with your air assist on. That's just not true. All right, and this one also has a little bit of that shimmer to it. But here you go, Steve. Look at that. 100% AI generated image. And though that is some really clean detail on there. And as you can see, there's not a spot of debris or dust or anything else on there. Tony says I need to try. Well, I did try walleye. I was up north, I guess about 15 years ago. I did some walleye fishing. It was fun. All right, so let's go back over these. And we're going to start with the Christmas one, just for those of you who weren't here for that. There is the Christmas theme generated by AI. And of course, this is all done using my own settings. Here is the fishing boat. And finally, the dog. So, what's the purpose of this video? Purpose of this video was this live stream was to show you guys how I do it. And I usually don't do those big long prompts like that. I'll do something for a piece in something that I'm designing. Like, let's say I needed a dove, for something I'm designing in Lightburn. I would focus on just that dove and trace that dove and bring it into Lightburn. Excuse me. But I wanted to focus on the fact that, number one, if you're using Chat GPT, don't use it for your line drawings. Use its little sister, Sora. All you have to do is look on the side. It'll show you the other GPTs. Just click on Sora, because that is an image generator. So, or Mid-Journey. Make sure you use a specific GPT that's focused on images. Even Microsoft Bing. There's several good ones that are out there. Okay, so it says, "Hi, Rich. Can't get the Santa scene that you have. Do you have a link?" I can't give you a link to my account, but what I can do, I can give you my prompt. And keep in mind, I do have a paid account, so there is a difference between paid and free. But I will give you in the comments my prompt. How about that? You can copy and paste it. All right, let's see. Comments, post a comment, paste, and go. All right, so that should put that prompt that I used into the comments. But again, like I said, you may not get You may not get the same exact results if you're on a free account. How come I don't see that in the comments? Hang on one second. I don't see it. It looks like it didn't post. Okay, I guess I'm going to try it again. I'll paste it in again. Oh, you know what? It's telling me that I'm 65 characters over. So it goes up to upbeat. All right. So I have to paste this in two different pastes. Create a notebook as 10. Theme should be, I'll do up to that point in one. All right, let's try it this way. I have to post it twice. So I'll do that one. And then I'll come back. The theme should be, and then here's the rest of it. I'll copy that one, post that, paste that one in here, and that should do the trick. So there we go. So if you copy the first part and the second part and try it, see if you can get the same results. If you can't get the same results, it's only because I'm using the paid version. So I think that there's a difference between the paid and the free version. I'm not absolutely sure. Not absolutely sure on that. But if you're using Sora and you're using the prompt that I put in there in the comments, you should get the same results. All right, so that's it. Let's turn this over to just question and answer, and then we'll wrap it up. So I know we're about 6 to 10 seconds behind. So I'll wait a few seconds. If you guys have any questions that you'd like to ask now on anything that I've done today, shoot. I'll wait a few seconds for that. In the meanwhile, I want to say again, thank you all so much for keeping me company today. I wanted to get out of that hot weather and into the air conditioning and do something that I enjoy. Led Zepp says, I think it's a little pricey unless you have a specific use for it. Yeah. Okay. So my plan is $20 a month. So it is a little bit pricey, but I do have a specific use for it. I just converted to the paid plan not long ago because I do get a lot. I've been moving away from drawing on the tablet, which is how I used to do everything, was on my drawing tablet, and then export that as a PNG and import it into Lightburn and everything else. Now I'm finding that it's much faster to get the little bits and pieces that I need to make a graphic just by putting in a prompt in ChatGPT. So I think it saves me more in time over the course of a month than $20. You are a star. Thank you so much. I don't think so, but I love sharing this with people. Greg, Rich, do you have the IR for the Mark II? No, I don't. So I had it and I did a video on it, and then I sent that off to Patrick in West Virginia. So I did have it. I did a video. I had a little fun with it, and then I sent it over to Patrick. Totally Awesome says Whisk is free for images, but not for video. Yeah, I only use ChatGPT for video. Which is the best way to take a photo and make it in line art? Well, there are all kinds of apps out there where you can convert your photo to line art. If you go on Google and you put in there, JPEG to SVG, then you'll get some online generators where you can upload an image from your phone and have it convert to line art. Richard says, can you use this method to create images that will work with 3D printing? Yes, you can. So, well, one of the things, talking about online converters, you can create the image and then you can go to search again in Google, JPEG to, or whatever it is, PNG, network graphic, bitmap, whatever you're using, to SVG, and there are to STL, and there are STL converters online that do the same thing. Greg Wilson, Greg says, I'll look for the video. Yeah, I think if you search IR, you'll find it right away. Do you have a storefront? Yes, I do. It is engraveandcutfiles.com. So there are a bunch of Lightburn ready files there. Great, you got it. Okay, the wife will be happy. Yeah, I really like this scene, and I don't know why I deleted the image. I should have brought it into my Lightburn art library. Oh, actually, I did. That's why I deleted it. I do have it in the library. So I did save both of those, and let's see. All right, come on, mouse, get over there. So I have at the top it should be AI. Yeah. So here's the Sora image, and I think I will probably be using this during the Christmas season. Speaking of which, it is time now to get started for the holiday season. I know a lot of people hate to talk about this kind of stuff, but coming up, we got Labor Day, we got Halloween, we got Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year. All those things are coming up, and if you're looking to sell or give away products, now is time to get started. Get them done early, and remember, don't put the year on your New Year stuff so you can reuse it. So you don't want to put New Year 2025. Do that after. Save your whatever your New Year graphic is. Save that as a New Year graphic, and then edit it each year and put the year in if you want to. I prefer not to put the year at all. So if you don't put the year at all, and let's say you're selling them at a craft fair, you can make 100 of them. And if you only sell 80 of them, you can sell the other 20 next year. So keep that in mind too. I have more of an upstate New York accent. Oh, okay. Then you do a downstate. Yeah, I lived in upstate New York for a while. In fact, right after I got out of the Navy, I moved to Pine Bush. So it's near Newburgh, and just beautiful country up there. My parents had a vacation home up there in Pine Bush. And in fact, my whole family had vacation homes around Pine Bush Lake. And I lived there for about 2 years, decompress, you know. It's absolutely beautiful in the Catskill Mountains. Can you not go back to your chat? Yes. So on the sidebar, I keep the sidebar closed usually, but on the sidebar, it'll save all of your chats in there. So you can just click on one of those and regenerate something that you've done before. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The last couple of weeks, I've been working on charcuterie boards for antipasta boards for Christmas gifts for my family. Yeah, those are always a great gift. Anytime you do a cutting board, always a great gift. Greg says, no Christmas for me. I already bought too much this month. Okay. Put the year on the ones you sell so your customer comes back next year. Okay, well, that's a great idea. But if you're doing, like I said, craft shows and you make 100 of something and you wind up with only selling 70, then you've got 30 of them are waste. So what I guess what you can do is you can use some glue and put a second layer with the year on it, and then the ones that don't sell, get your little spatula and just take it right back off. But I just prefer to do New Year's stuff without the year. Okay, guys, so we are at an hour and a half, almost 90 minutes, and I think it's 5:30 here, so I'm ready for some dinner. Again, I want to thank you all so much. It has been uh, tough on YouTube for my channel lately, and I don't really know why they're shadow banning me, but I'm getting like almost no traffic, and that's why I thought I would do this pop-up live stream today. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to save it, and I'm going to edit it and put it up as a video as well, and maybe that'll push them to promote my channel a little bit more. But they my traffic has gone down by 50%. Don't quite know why, but you guys are going to help me bring it back up. So thank you all so much for being here and visiting with me today. I really appreciate it. And as always, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.